survive.
Who's got their volume on? What a great start. Welcome to Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm VAWLS JP.
I'm Dauber.
And straight out of my wife's attic and some of my mother.
Oh, we're moving up in the world. The indie kid is moving up in the world. Look, Josh Heupel is your new head coach at the University of Tennessee. And as usual, as always, like we could be talking about the type of Gatorade this team is drinking. This team, this fan base is divided. And here's the deal. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. All opinions are welcome. Every opinion, whether you disagree, agree, it's all fine. Like all opinions welcome here. Couple of rules, though. Be nice. Be civil. Let's act like adults. Let's not act like some of the idiots that were in the live chat of the press conference today. Let's act like adults. Let's be civil. Let's run down the chat. Let's see who is hanging out. Let's see who is here. A lot of people here already. Buck H says it's Groundhog Day. A lot of people are going to be mad. I get it. All opinions are welcome. Don't worry about it. John Dickey waiting. Yeah, it's weird. We're about to go live. Dauber gets up and leaves. He comes back. Indie Kid leaves. JP was here bright and early. You guys won't believe it. Won't believe it. Alan V. Troll Patrol is here hanging out. Jennifer says, give him a chance. People, calm down. Corey is here. We're glad that you guys are here. We already got 200 people in the chat. Right out of the gate, 200 people watching live. You know the deal. You guys know the deal. Smash the thumbs up. Just do it now. Get it out of the way. I'll shut up about it. But if you don't, then people are going to get mad. They're going to come in the comments. They're going to say it's not funny when Boogie begs for thumbs up. Stop begging. You sound pathetic. You sound weak. I get it. It's fine. Just hit it now. Get it over with. We got 89. Smash it. Smash it bright. Smash it early. We'll let it go, and we'll get into business. So let's talk about this thing. Look.
And share the link out so we can get some more opinions in here.
Let's see. 1,000. What are we going for? 1,000 tonight? 2,000?
I just want to hear. I want to hear what Vol Nation thinks.
Well, we're going to kick it off bright and early with Blitz 621 for $4.99. Thanks for the super chat. Says proud to see Coach. How many people are pronouncing this name wrong? Heupel, Coach Heupel, and AD Danny White in Knoxville. A foundation starts with character and integrity. Thank you, Blitz 621, for the super chat. We appreciate it. So here's the deal. Here is the deal. I'm going to kick things off, and then you guys can agree, disagree. We'll see what happens. Honestly, our group text was really quiet today. So I don't know what you guys are going to say. We'll get into it. But what did we say we needed? What did we say we needed with this coaching search? We said we needed a sitting head coach. What did we get? We got a sitting head coach. We said we needed an offensive-minded coach. What did we get? Offensive-minded coach. We said we needed a guy that can develop quarterbacks. What did we get? A guy that can develop quarterbacks. And I get it. For those of you that are mad, it's fine. It's all, like I said, all opinions welcome. He is not the big name, sexy hire. He's not the big fish. He's not Kiffin. He's not Freeze. I get it. I understand. For me, there's a lot of reasons why we ended up here, but we'll get into it. Dauber, opening thoughts on Josh Heupel as the new head coach at Tennessee.
Well, let me throw this out there for all you people that wanted Kiffin. Let's look head-to-head matchups against Heupel. 2018 and 2019. Heupel's UFC nights won UFC? By 20.
What are we talking about? MMA? Come on.
You see that. Whatever. Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
I'm only laughing because I've seen that all day long. So funny.
2018, they won by 20 points. 2019, they won by 34 points. So this guy does have an offense that clicks and rolls. We're also talking about the offensive coordinator that lit Tennessee up for 37 points and I think 52 points when he was at Missouri. You know, it can only go up from where we're at right now. We have to look at the situation, what it is, realize where we are, where this program has fallen to, and it can only go up. There you go.
JP, opening thoughts. I bet you were a busy man today. We didn't hear from you at all.
I was busy, yeah. I didn't even know. Did something big happen?
Don't
we
lie.
hire a coach?
Don't lie, because you're like, Boogie, you got to make a second video. Do it now. I'm going back to work.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's not the big name hire, and I think that's what a lot of this fan base is upset about. But realistically, this program is where it is, and I do like the fact that he is an offensive-minded coach, because that is definitely where college football is going. You better be able to score points. We have nothing but to get behind him and see how it happens. None of us know whether we're sitting here saying that he's the answer or he'll be fired in 3 years. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. So it was going to have to require patience no matter who we hire, because of all the transfers out and having to start all over again. So can he bring in a staff? Can he recruit? I said it to some people today. The first thing that I'm going to look for is what kind of staff that Josh Heupel is able to bring in. And then the very next thing is, and he mentioned it, I watched a little bit of the press conference this evening. He talked about locking down the state of Tennessee. He better get his hind end out there and try to lock down Ty Simpson and these Tennessee kids for 2022. If he does that, then I think this fan base will start having a little bit different feeling about this.
Jump in there, Indy Kid. What were your opening thoughts today when you saw the news? And look, it started last night. I mean, for Hubs and Austin Price to come out and basically say, hey, this guy's the front runner, no shock at all to wake up this morning and this kind of get going quick.
I look at it as, and I'm kind of shaking my head, a lot of positive comments in the comments section, which is kind of cool. I didn't know what to expect. So, everybody's going to have their opinion on it, and that's fine. But I looked at it as, we're facing sanctions. We just come off of 3 pretty bad. I mean, we had an 8-win season there, obviously, but the way this ended was awful. And, let's face it, guys, this is not the Tennessee we grew up on in the 90s and 2000s. It's not that desirable of a job right now. And, you said it, Boogie. You gave the check marks. High-powered offense. Well, people wanted Lane Kiffin because of his offense. Guess who had a higher ranked offense than Lane Kiffin? It's Josh Heupel. Guess who had a higher ranked offense than Jamie Chadwell? It's Josh Heupel. Guess who had a higher ranked offense than Billy Napier? It's Josh Heupel. Okay? I'm not sitting here telling you this guy's the savior of Tennessee football, but, Danny White said that this was our number one choice. I don't believe that. I think it's pretty obvious they went after other guys and they got turned down. I don't think they ended up at Heupel because lack of trying, but I'll have to say, given the circumstances, given where Tennessee is at, this is a good hire. And I would, if Josh Heupel was from Tennessee, like Jamie Chadwell is, people would be all about this hire. People only wanted Jamie Chadwell because he was from Tennessee. If Jamie Chadwell had played at Oklahoma, was from Oklahoma, people would not care about Jamie Chadwell. So, again, am I sitting here saying, I get it. I understand he wasn't my number one choice, but I really think we did okay. And I think the key thing here is, and all you guys have alluded to this, is Jamie Chadwell. No, it doesn't remind you of Chad Morris. All right. So, so I would say this, because Josh Heupel is 28-8 at Central Florida, and this narrative about it's gone down every year. Well, Scott Frost was only there 2 years, so he didn't take over a lot of Scott Frost classes. He went 12-1, he went 10-3, he went 6-4. The 6-4 year does not alarm me because they lost to 4 good teams. They had a ton of opt-outs, and they had other guys get removed this year. And they, what was it, like a combined 8 points for 3 losses, and then BYU was a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's I want to unpack it all. There's a lot of super chats coming in. Let me get caught up on them, and then I want to go down that train of thought because, like you said, what was the big thing we said about Jeremy Pruitt this year? Double-digit losses. And I think all 4 losses came by like a combined 13 points, something crazy. Like 3 of the games were one-possession games, but I want to get into all that. There's a lot of stuff to discuss tonight. As always, guys, we're staying live as long as you guys want us to. As long as you guys are here hanging out, dropping super chats, interacting, we're going to go live as long as necessary. We'll get to all your comments and unpack all this from today. John Watts for $5. Thank you so much, John. I think many people may be surprised at the fun that will be on Saturdays.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's what Danny White said at the, his press conference when he got hired as the AD. He's talking about building a program that's exciting football. It starts with an exciting offense and good quarterback play. And that is something that Josh Heupel is known for, is developing quarterbacks. We'll continue to go down that thread here in just a minute. Kenneth Morgan, $4.99. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for the super chat. It's going to be sad when Kiffin wipes the field with UT next year.
No, he won't.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Power T for $2. Thanks so much, Power T. You guys honestly think this is going to work? No, like nobody's saying that. What we're saying is
got to get behind him.
I do.
Oh, well,
I have no idea if it's going to work.
Any kid's going out on a limb. I'm just saying this. Look, somebody asked me today. My phone blew up all day today. What do you think? What do you think of the hire? What do you think of the hire? Facebook was blowing up. I wasn't in my front yard doing backflips today because it wasn't the big name hire. But it is what it is. As you know, everybody that's talked about this hire so far has laid out the reasons why we are here. This job is not as attractive as it once was. And we can go down and talk about Vol Twitter and this negative fan base and the impact. And some people will say you're crazy. It's not the fans' fault. And I agree. It's not the fans' fault. But you can't deny how many coaches have said that place is toxic. I don't want to go there. Let me get all these super chats, guys. Then I promise we'll move forward. Kevin Bear, member of the channel. Thank you, Kevin. $5 says he is the best we can get. Short of Hugh Freeze or Lane Kiffin. It is what it is. Go Big Orange. And when you throw names out there like Hugh Freeze and Lane Kiffin, but then you're also talking about Danny White mentions integrity and everything that's going on inside this program, I don't know that you can mention a guy like Hugh Freeze or Lane Kiffin. Ball 92 for $14.99 says this reminds me of Arkansas hiring Chad Morris. Could be wrong. Sad fact is no one wanted the job. If they did want the job, Tennessee didn't call them. I hope I'm wrong. I think a guy like Chadwell wanted the job, but I don't think Tennessee called him. Thank you for the super chat, though. Ty Myers for $1.99. After a few no's, Danny went back to the well. Thumbs up. Yep, I think you're right. And I think we're caught up on super chats here. Let me say this. When you talk about, Ty's super chat there, after a few no's, Danny went back to the well. Something he said in his press conference was, I tried everything I could to not hire him. Because you don't think Danny White knew what our fan base was going to say if he went and hired Josh Heupel? Like, he knew what we were going to say. He knew what the reaction was going to be. But on the flip side of that, think about you working with somebody for 3 years. You see their work ethic. You see their integrity. You see how they conduct business on a day-to-day basis. Do you think Danny White, Dauber, do you think Danny White would go out and hire Josh Heupel based on 3 years? 3 years he's seen this man work if he didn't think that he was the right man for the job. Thank you, Daniel, for the $3.99 tip of the jar. We appreciate it.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, he's just had a 3-year interview process for this job. And I think that's what it boils down to.
That's a great point.
Something that I think both White and Heupel were asked in the presser today, what level of comfort do you have knowing that your AD is a guy you've worked with, knowing that your head coach is a guy that you've worked with? What does that do? There's a sense of Heupel can go to White and say, listen, here's what I need to make things work. Here's what I need to be successful. And it's a guy he has a standing relationship with. It's not a brand new relationship that has just blossomed over 2 or 3 Zoom calls and a couple face-to-face interviews. They've worked together hand in hand, really kind of continuing the evolution of the football program down there. So he knows what he's got with Heupel. There are pros and cons to it. But what I'm saying and what I said leading in, we know where this Tennessee program is right now. We are in the bottom of the division with Vandy and South Carolina and those teams that used to be guaranteed victories. So we're fighting tooth and nail on the field in games that we should not even be close. But then we're also competing for those same recruits with those teams. And the gap with the teams that are above us is not closing, like Coach Jeremy Pruitt kept trying to tell us. So it's something. It's a process, and we're at the bottom. We're on the ground floor, and there, we can only go up. There's no basement. Let me tell you that.
Let me change directions here. Let me have some fun, because it seems only the people that are being positive are doing super chats. So I'm trying to keep this thing neutral. It is a debate. It's the great debate on Josh Heupel. The great debate tonight here on Talkin VAWLS Live. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, what are you waiting for? I'm going to fuss at you guys. We got almost 500 people watching and 179 thumbs up. Let's smash it, destroy it. Maybe I can let it go. All right, so here we go. We're going to have some negative. We're going to give a negative Nancy some attention just because I want to.
Hey, can I ask a quick question?
What's
hey,
that?
JP, can you pass this way? Somebody asked if you're stoned. So will you pass it this way?
Yeah, I thought that.
No, that's a man that's worked all day. Let's address this. Riverdog16 says, how do you even look at records since Frost left? Or are you blind? Yeah, we do. The funny thing about this narrative to me is what they go in 2018. They lost one game. 2019, 10 wins. 10 wins. That's not good enough, is it? No, 10 wins is just a complete train wreck. You dropped off. And they like to bring the narrative of Scott Frost of, well, he dropped off after Frost. Well, no kidding. He went undefeated. Like, what do you want? So
undefeated every year, Boogie.
I know. And look, I get it. This last season is reason for concern. 6-4 is reason for concern. And look, I can sit here and make excuses, but I ripped Pruitt to shreds. For making excuses about COVID. Jeremy Pruitt didn't have 10 players opt out. Jeremy Pruitt didn't lose how many games by one score? Maybe 3 of the 4 were one possession games.
But let's look at the body of work. Those losses were to pretty good teams.
Quality opponents.
1 point loss to Memphis in a freaking shootout. It was like 59-57 or something like that. The BYU game in the bowl, that was the biggest defeat this year. But
they had a lot of opt-outs for that bowl game, right?
Didn't BYU also finish
the
in the top 10?
The entire secondary opted out.
Wait,
bowl game.
Didn't we get beat by BYU? Didn't Coach Pruitt get beat by BYU?
We're not talking about that, JP. I mean, Dopper, we got to stay negative. We can't talk about improvement in coaching staff. People are going to be mad when they listen to the show. Look, nobody's sitting here trying to pretend that Josh Heupel is the man. We're saying we got to wait it out and listen. Let me get caught up on Super Chats again. You guys are awesome. We appreciate all of the support. Dylan Robertson for $14.99. Putting this out there, Caden Salter is going to be the starting quarterback because he comes from the kind of offense that Heupel runs. Also, Caden seems like a vocal kid. Yeah, I saw he was
agree with that, Dylan.
He was
you also
out his
got
support.
Hendon Hooker.
Exactly. Yes. Hooker.
Yeah.
Hooker.
He's got more experience.
He does, but I don't think Hooker can throw the ball around.
Listen,
like,
that's a good problem to have.
Like
we've got multiple guys that will fit this system that can spread it out and fling it all over the field, be a threat with their legs. It's exciting a little bit. The grass is maybe a little bit greener right now, or a little bit oranger. It just looks a little better right now. And I can't. I'm happy. We're moving on and we're moving up.
Somebody asked today, what happened to this channel? Look, we call a spade a spade. This channel has been very negative for the last 8-9 months. Why? Because we had seen 3 years of Jeremy Pruitt, and we knew it was over, and we were ready to move on. We have not seen Josh Heupel coach a single game at Tennessee. We're optimistic. We're excited. We're ready to see what he can do. If he comes out and lays an egg, guess what? We're going to be right here telling you that we're ready to move on. That's the way this channel works. We are realists. We are not sheep. That's a word that's been thrown around all day. I'm sick of hearing it. Sheep. You're sheep. If you're happy, you're a sheep. We're not negative. We're not positive. We just call it like we see it. That's what's up. Let me get caught up on these super chats, and then I want to get some more from JP. William Poole for $2 says, my only worry is he was 8th in the AAC in recruiting in 2020. Huge
That's my
concern.
biggest concern. Yeah.
Huge concern.
That is my biggest concern. And what little bit I've been able to read up on Heupel, there seems to be a consensus that he may not be the best recruiter or enjoys it, which that is concerning. It definitely is. But now, when I did listen to a little bit of the press conference this evening, he mentioned that how important that recruiting is, and it's the lifeblood of your program. So whether or not that was just speak or what, but and he also mentioned, like I said earlier, about locking down the state of Tennessee. So, but that is, yes, William Poole, that is very, very concerning to me. And, I don't know what actually happened there. I don't know if there was some reason for that or if it was just a bad class or what, but certainly we can't have that if we ever expect Heupel to be successful.
But how many times on this show have we talked about you can recruit all you want to recruit? Bless you, Dauber. But if you don't develop talent, it doesn't matter. And what's the easiest way to recruit? Win
ball games.
Win.
And I mean, you would think that his offense would actually get some of these recruits excited. I mean, if I'm Ty Simpson, I'm thinking, man, this guy throws the ball, and we're scoring all these points. He's got a history of developing quarterbacks. You would think that this hire would be somebody that Ty Simpson's like, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance. I'm going to see what's going to happen over the next 3 or 4 months with him and stuff like that. I think Aaron Hayden, a lot of old school Vols remember Hayden. He was very, very open, I think, today, talking about how that he knows Heupel and he thinks that this is a great hire. And, of course, he's got a son that is a upcoming senior that Tennessee's after. So there's another one that sounds like that, that has played college football, that has been around the program, that knows people, and he's talking about Heupel in a positive manner with this. So it's all going to come down to recruiting and developing these kids and players. I'm just so interested to see what his coaching staff ends up looking like.
Yeah, that's a big key. Do you think it'll be easier to recruit to Tennessee versus Central Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it should.
Yeah.
That's what Heupel was talking about, that the Power T is a national brand. And we've talked about it on here over and over and over. Yes, this school, this program can recruit itself to an extent. You are going to have kids from all over the country that are going to be interested in coming to Tennessee. But if you put an exciting product out there, and if you show that you're moving the football and that you actually have some kind of competence, unlike this last coaching staff showed, then I think that you can get these kids excited and you can maybe start building something. It's not going to happen overnight. It is not. Again, nobody even knows what kind of sanctions that may even come out of this. They have no idea at this point in time. So it's not going to be an overnight thing, but I would fully expect that come September that this offense ought to look a whole lot better than what we saw the last couple of years for sure.
So
hold on. I got to get caught up on super chats, guys. There's like 6 or 7 waiting, and then we'll move forward. Sorry, I have to. They're throwing money at us. We gotta respect that. Tennessee Sports Network for $5. Thank you so much. I'll be watching UCF football like crazy tonight. Hopefully, I'll feel better. My good buddy Andrew say all the losses were by only 1 score.
Somebody was saying that he's got 6 losses by a total of 19 points, which is like, less than what Pruitt's average loss was.
We can go back and talk about all the double-digit losses.
Well, yeah, and Tajon Washington's dropped a lot of knowledge on it too. He keeps up with the program, so he's been pretty positive about it as well.
I think Tajon's actually in Florida, I believe. Pecan for $2. I had to Google him. Don't like it. Tell us why, Pecan. Tell us why. Again, we've laid out all the reasons. None of us are sitting here saying it's the home run hire, but
well, listen, the guy knows football. You're talking about a former national championship winning quarterback, a Heisman Trophy winner, successful coordinator, moved on to have a pretty decent run as a head coach. 27-8, 28-8, whatever it is. Man, it's all those boxes that Boogie talked about when we started the show. He checks them.
All right, I'm going to give y'all a little inside baseball. right now. Right now is a little inside baseball to the show when people fuss at me and they say, Boogie, all he focuses on is super chats, and that's all he talks about, super chats, and he hijacks the show because the super chats are all gone. I can't highlight anybody's super chat now because we've talked too long, and there's so many people here, and I apologize for that. I can still read them, but unfortunately I can't highlight them on air because we talked for so long and we're so far behind. And again,
I might be able to, Boogie. You want me to try it?
No, you can't. You can get the most recent, but we're so far behind. Let me just read them off. So the last one we had was Pecan for $2. I had to Google him, didn't like it. Jonathan Rice for $24.99, $25. Jonathan, thank you. Like that's you guys blow my mind sometimes. After settling in and realizing he was the best we could do other than freeze, and that was never going to happen because of the investigation, better keep still and hire Garner to have some SEC defensive ties and better win state recruiting. All very good points. It's going to be interesting to see how the Kevin Steele thing plays out. Daniel Hellman for $4.99. Thank you so much, Daniel. Why does everyone not mention he's beaten Kiffin? Well, Dauber did. He's just not as brash. We have to take his record at more than face value. Yeah, it's not the sexy hire. That's what it is. Vol 92 for $20. $20. Thank you, Vol 92. We appreciate it. I'll get behind old Hype Train just like I did the other coaches. He deserves that. He stepped into a huge mess. He deserves the entire fan base to get behind him. What else can we do? Hype Train starting it now. Yeah, this channel is going from Negavols to Sunshine Pumpers overnight, apparently. So thank you guys for hanging out. Gate City Blue Devil for $19.98. It feels like 98 Gate City Blue Devil. We appreciate that. He paid $20 just to say, that's right, Dauber. Dauber, is this your alternate account?
Is this your Gate City Blue Devil, Dauber?
Wrestling promoter. He's got them plants in the crowd.
He's over there on his phone with his Gate City Blue Devil account. But seriously, thank you for a $20 super chat just to agree with Dauber.
It'd be DB Indian if it was.
We just lost 12 subscribers.
Yeah, really.
David Crawford for $4.99. Thank you so much, David. We appreciate it. Said, I'm willing to give him a chance. Hopefully he can put a good staff around him to recruit. And that's a good point. And look, we should all give him a chance. Let's see what happens. Let's let it play out. But yeah, great point. Put a good staff around him, surround himself with recruiters, which it is important for the head coach to be involved in that. But if he surrounds himself with the right staff, maybe this will work out. Rowdy Yates for $5. Thank you so much, Rowdy. We need to help as fans by being positive. Help our cause. Let's go. All right. I'm caught up on super chats, I do believe. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not.
Why won't it let you see those again?
Because the comments disappear off of my StreamYard before I can put them all on screen. We're caught up now, though. Maybe
Gordon Hamby. Gordon Hamby gave $5. He cracked on me for my presentation the last time. So, Gordon, this background's for you, buddy.
$5 super chat from Gordon. He says, we need to lay off and give the man a shot. He's better than we think and much better than Pruitt. That's what the Indie Kid said today and got annihilated in the comment section for it. All right, we're caught up. We're caught up.
Rusty Davidson just put up a something that I'm excited about. He said that Winky's out now because he got beat out for the Heisman, or he beat Heupel or Heupel for the Heisman.
Oh, so, God. JP's already screwing it up.
Damn, I was calling him Heupel last night. I don't know what his name is. It's Heupel.
Heupel.
He's going to get us hyped. He's going to get us hyped.
Yep.
I can already see it now. I can already see it now. Hype it up.
Goodness gracious.
I would say right here, my kind of moment with it all is I think most of us, there may have been some, but I think we were all fed up and tired of Pruitt. I'm not going to sit here and tell any of you got to love the hire or anything like that. No. But this is a massive upgrade, guys. This is a massive upgrade. And, that photo you put of the four of us sitting at the podium, two of you in real and two of us in emoji, that was a better coach than we had last year. So,
there's no doubt about it that Pruitt will go down as the absolute, bar none, worst coach in Tennessee history. With the fact of everything that he's left left with as far as the NCAA issues and the bad losses and everything. I mean, he makes Butch Jones look like Vince Lombardi.
Well, I've seen the message. I saw a little bit on Twitter, Twitter, something saying, "Well, we got rid of Shiano." Well, getting rid of Shiano didn't work out too well, did it? Because we ended up with the worst coach and the worst AD in the history of the program. That didn't work out too well. So, Ball Twitter might want to sit this one out a little bit. So, but anyhow, you think what I'm not saying you need to love it or anything like that, but my whole thing is this is a big upgrade from what we just came away from, and can't stress that enough.
Man.
Well, the man has not stepped onto the field yet. Let's get behind him. I mean, come on.
At the very least, wait and see.
Yeah,
wait and see. And that's my mindset. If they had hired Hugh Freeze, I would be sitting here saying, wait and see. But do you know what the biggest meltdown in the history of Tennessee football is going to be? When Central Florida hires Hugh Freeze. Gordon Hamby for $5 says, looks great, Indy. Thanks for the super chat just to put over the Indy kid. And let's hit this one because this is the biggest super chat in the history of Talkin VAWLS. You're an absolute lunatic, but I love you for it. Go Vols 99 with $100 super chat says, I dare you to challenge me as the biggest fan of Talkin VAWLS. Absolute insanity. I don't know what else to say.
You're a bigger fan than I am. So
he is. Yeah, all three of y'all. I mean, I put in work, but Go Vols 99. If you want to host the show, just email me. I'll put it in the description. He says, Go Vols, huge fan of the show. Love the hire. We love you. I think you're family now. Thank your family. Thank you for the ridiculous super chat. I think the highest ever was $50 up until that point. $100
takes a cake.
Insanity. You people are crazy. Kevin Bear says, Go Vols 99, you win, I quit. All right, let's circle the wagons. Let's get back into this show. Where you at, JP?
I mean, I just want to see what kind of staff that he ends up with. Any kind of names out there? Like I said, I didn't really get to look too much into it today. I've been hearing rumblings, possibility of his offensive line coach. Supposedly there has been some positive things there. But what about Steele? Is there anything with Steele, or is he just basically going to take $900,000 from Tennessee for a month's worth of work?
I think Steele. I will be surprised if Steele stays. I'm going to agree with Wes Smith in the comments here. First game's Bowling Green schedules announced today. We come out and put 40, 50 points on Bowling Green. Let's see how those attitudes change.
Oh, yeah.
You just want 40 or 50? I mean, you're talking about a guy that averaged over 40.
100 on it. So
you're talking about a guy that averaged over 40 the last 3 years. You're talking about a guy that only scored less than 40. What? I think I saw somebody say three times, maybe. I can't remember the exact numbers. But a guy that averages over 40 points a game for 3 years, and you can say, oh, it's Central Florida. You can say this. You can say that. But if you look at the numbers. Oh, Dauber's ready. Is this applying to what I'm saying now?
It's just talking about coaching stuff. So,
well, the
official university website only lists Josh Heupel right now, even though we still have guys under contract. And Heupel said today he is potentially going to contact some coaches from Central Florida, and he will be sitting down to talk with guys still under contract with the University of Tennessee. But this is pretty telling right there. And I was reading some stuff earlier today. A lot of people pretty upset about T. Martin. Listen, I don't think T. Martin was staying anyway. And that goes back to what Indy Kid was saying earlier. You know, everybody has all this love for T. Martin because he played at Tennessee, because he brought us the national championship. But honestly,
T. Martin, truth. Don't hold back.
T. Martin doesn't have he doesn't have the chops right now to cut it as a head coach. I don't even know that I'd hire him as an offensive coordinator right now.
I wouldn't. And it seems
call out zone G here. Clean house, clean absolute house
Hey,
now.
whoa.
I would definitely
Start
go
over.
after Levy
Start over.
as his OC. That's who I'd go after.
David
Yeah,
Crawford
there's
throws
nobody
another
on the-
$5 in the bucket. Thank you, David, for the super chat.
Nobody on the
Definitely.
current staff that just left. I'd let them all go. Start over fresh.
Well, it sounds
Yeah.
like Jay
I would have
Graham's
liked to
leaving.
have seen him kept Graham.
You wouldn't have wanted to hold on to Jay Graham, but it sounds
I
like he's
would
going to
I would have,
Alabama.
but it sounds like he's going to Bama, so it's kind of a moot point. But yeah, besides that, Chaney out. I mean, we've all got a fondness for T. Martin, but
Of course.
but I just don't know right there. And then
I'm a Dauber. There are people out there that want him to be the head coach. I wouldn't have hired him as the offensive coordinator.
That's the thing. That's what I'm getting at. People need to take off their orange-colored glasses and realize the state of this program. And just because you played here or you're from Tennessee doesn't mean you're the best, doesn't mean you're the most qualified, doesn't mean you're going to be the one to bring us back. That's why I don't even know that Peyton Manning wants to coach, but he would be a fool to ever come to Knoxville to do any kind of coaching because it would tarnish his legacy.
I think that we're looking at there's part of me like to see Steele stay, but I get it. And yeah, I'd like to see Graham stay. He's a good coach, but I do remember last time when Graham came for a year and let go, Gillespie was an awesome hire. Can we upgrade again? I don't know. I mean, Gillespie and Graham, it both seems like are going to Alabama here, but it's going to come down to who do you hire? You've got to put a good stat. The only name I have seen, of course, I've seen Levy, but I've seen mixed on that. I've seen some say, well, he's coming, and I've seen some say, well, he's not. He's going to stay at Ole Miss. But I saw that Cody Burns used to play at Auburn. I think Central Florida had just hired him as a receivers coach. There's a thought that he may be coming. Besides that, it's hard to tell.
Makes you think probably Joe Osavet could possibly be retained because he actually was interviewing down there with Heupel there last week, wasn't he? I believe.
Yeah,
their wide receiver coach.
Seems like he would probably, funny enough, have the best shot to stay out of any of them. But
that's what David Crawford. Hold on, David Crawford wants to know for $4.99. Thanks for the super chat. He wants to know who will be the offensive coordinator. And I'm with the Indy kid. Jeff Lebby's the name that I keep seeing. Sorry, Indy kid. Keep going.
No, it's all good. It may be Levy. It may be someone else. Bottom line is dating back to when Heupel was at Missouri, whether he's been OC or whether somebody else has, his offenses have gotten the job done. So the bottom line here is having good coaches, guys who can actually coach. But if he gets about 3 to 4 top-notch recruiters on staff, he may have a good thing down here. Defenses are – there's not a lot of top-notch defenses anymore. We know he's going to bring in a top-notch offense. Having a good offense in there – a good defense who can get the job done. But having a few good coach/recruiters will be big for him.
Let me throw this out there. Look at the team that just won the national championship. Did they have a great defense?
Nope.
It wasn't the defense of Alabama from a couple years ago that just dominated people. They would outscore you.
If you're going to score 30, 40 a game, you just need a defense that's going to get a few stops, a handful of stops. I mean, obviously, you don't want to go out there and try to score 50 a game, but Dylan Robertson for $4.99 says, what do you guys think of Gerard Mayo as defensive coordinator? Thanks, Dylan, for the super chat. Do you think he would take it? Because he was politicking and campaigning to be the head coach. Do you think he would settle?
He might. I mean, he's a linebackers coach with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's possible. It's possible, but I don't know. I think you could – I don't think you go that route. I think you try to see if you can keep still, maybe bring in a Muschamp. I'm just throwing names out.
Hey, how about that? I mean, I saw some people on VolQuest talking about that. If you could get Muschamp to somehow take over this defense, that's something. You go out, you let Josh Heupel run this offense. If he brings Levy, who do you think is going to be running this offense? It's Josh Heupel. That's who's running this offense. So you go spend some money. Go spend some money on a defensive coordinator and let them do their job. That's the thing. That's there are so many places that Jeremy Pruitt dropped the ball, but clearly it was by micromanaging. Josh Heupel needs to go hire a proven defensive coordinator and let them do their job.
Let's hope he can do that.
And maybe we can get going in the right direction.
I think once you get down to it, okay, so Brian corrected me. I'm sorry, Brian. I said Muschamp. Brian said it's not happening. So there you go. Muschamp's not coming to Rocky Top, but
Kid said we were all going to ignore the chat if they were haters, and he's pointed out 2 already.
I give Brian a hard time. He comments a lot. He's a good listener, but who knows? Who knows? Honestly, it could be Steele. It could be Muschamp. It could be. I would expect it to be more of. Let's see, who is it? Randy Shannon at Central Florida. I don't think it's going to be Randy Shannon.
No,
coming with.
I saw rumors that he was only left on that staff because of his contract. What are you laughing at now?
Brian in the comments with the big LOL. So,
JP, is it you tapping on your computer? What's happening? We got 650 people watching, and people are beating on their laptops. Hey, while
I'm not touching anything.
Somebody smash that thumbs up. It's probably Dauber. Smash the thumbs up. I told you guys I would let it go, but you're slacking. We only got 280. Let's get that thing up to like 350. 350. We're up to 281. Keep it coming, and I'll shut up. I promise. I'll shut up.
I would love for it to be Steele, but I don't know. There's something there. I think Steele's got some. Possibly he's a little hurt over not getting this head coaching gig. It makes me think that Fulmer was planning to move him in as the head coach, and then all of that went for naught. That's what I'm thinking.
I saw a tweet from Peerless Price said he just talked with T, and I think there was some implications that there were maybe some promises made to T. Fulmer had made, and.
So let's talk about that. We talk about the good old boys club and how, we're finally getting out of that. And I was talking to my wife today because Danny White, God love his soul, after the press conference, and he's like, go Vols, go Big Orange. That's what it is, right? Go Big. Dude's clueless. And I said, guess what? If you hire a new CEO at Nike, he doesn't have to know their slogan. He just needs to know how to sell freaking tennis shoes. I don't care if they know what the Vol Walk is. I don't care if they know what the Vol Navy is. I don't care if they know. Look, Heupel said we're going to run through the tee to Rocky Top. It's like, no, that's not what we do.
He's going to learn it, though.
You learn it. Exactly, Dauber. You learn it. Let me hit this super chat from Killer Dude 35 for $5. Thank you so much. Offensively, Heupel is Kiffin minus the diva personality. I'm ready to roll, boys.
His offense.
I can get behind that.
Numbers.
Good statement.
Let me continue to go ahead and plug that the optimists, the people that are positive, seem to be throwing money at us. The people that are negative, like pissed off Vols fan, like, is that a channel? Like, is that I don't know if they have a YouTube show or what. I don't think he's very happy.
It's the he's going to show up on AEW Dynamite tonight.
Maybe.
Tonight.
Yeah, he's not happy. He says he'll get an all right staff. Well, we'll have to see. Dayon Cuberson for $4.99. Thank you, Dayon, for the super chat. We appreciate it. Football is changing to an offensive game. Yeah, it is. And we need defense too. Sure. If not, people will complain like they did with the Dooley years. That's a good point. And that's what I said. You got to – and for me, I'm like Kevin Steele. Kevin Steele's the guy, but there's also so much more that goes into it. There's chemistry. And if Steele was brought in thinking he's going to be the head coach and then you keep him around, that ain't going to work. And that's something that Josh Heupel's going to have to sit down. He's going to have discussions, and he's going to have to make that decision.
Yeah, because, we saw enough of that issues with dissension with the staff this past year and all that craziness that went on. So, I think Heupel said in his press conference today, that everybody has to be like a family and they all have to be working towards that one goal. So, definitely if Steele's got the attitude that, he feels like that he was slighted and he should be the head coach, then, at that point in time, it definitely would be best for him just to move on.
Well, listen, that's one of the things Heupel opened up with, talking about he started considering this late last night when he realized the common goal and how aligned the administration was. And face it, that's something that we've not seen. We've not seen a chancellor, a president, an athletic director, all together working to have a successful program. It's been a revolving door of presidents, of chancellors. You've had athletic directors there who, were more worried about how their hair wouldn't move and what was going on at Alabama in Dave Hart. And then I don't know what Curry was doing, but, we've got an athletic director now that he was born to be an athletic director. It's in his blood. That is what he is made for. And I think he has taken this as a challenge to bring back the University of Tennessee to where it should be. He talked about in his press conference, it's a great brand, but it needs to be tarnished up. It's tarnished up. It needs to be shined up a little bit. So I think that's what he's done with this hire. Yeah, it's not the big name. It's not the sexy hire. But the guy has been successful on the field. And at the end of the day, what matters? How you do in the press conference, how you it's the wins and the losses. At the end of the day, the wins and the losses and how you run the program. And we like JP said just a minute ago, we saw all year long dissension on this team between the coaches, between the players. There were all kinds of division. We said it all year long. There's something not right in this locker room. And what did White talk about today? What did Heupel talk about today? These guys and what they wanted in the locker room. And I think it was that's a brilliant move. We talked about it in the video that Boogie and I did, I think on Friday or Saturday, talking about Danny White. Going to talk to the players, to talk to a core group of leaders on the team and see what they want in a coach, what they want in an environment in the program. And frankly, I think this hire points to everything that they didn't have with the previous staff.
The word family was thrown around a lot today, which I liked. And something I also like that they did, and I like the fact that they let Josh Heupel sit down with his kids in Florida, and he let them meet. And as he was meeting with them, he had prepared a video for the Tennessee players. And yeah, you can say, a video? Really? Like, you're happy with that? But look, we live in the age of social media. And when you sit down and meet with your kids at Central Florida, what do you think they're going to do the second they walk out of that meeting? They're going to start tweeting. They're going to start texting. They're going to start talking. So the solution was to let him make a video for Tennessee so that both teams could be addressed at the same time. And maybe that's a small point, but it's something that it was a nice touch, something that I like that they did. Jimbo for $5 says, did I just listen to a Dauber rant? JP better step up. Well, JP apparently
I'm saving mine for the first loss.
Yeah. I didn't know how this was going to go because JP didn't say a whole lot today. And I was like, man, we may get on.
I didn't even know we'd hired a coach.
JP may be, that's a lie. JP may be mad. Power T for $5 says, Dauber's the hype, man. Let's go. Why is my emoji not included? What kind of operation are we running here? I've been working my butt off for 2 weeks, and you guys talking about Dauber and the Indy Kid and Falls JP.
Hey,
while I work my tail off. Look at that. Look at that.
I'm always a JP fan.
Hey, I need that, man.
I'm always
get that?
Hey, we should sell those.
I got that trademarked.
We should sell those. Who wants to buy a JP paper bag? I hope we never need those again. And look, I'll put JP on blast right now.
That's a COVID face mask. Come on.
What did JP say after the Danny White hire? We're talking about new T-shirt designs, what we can do moving forward.
I'm taking the bag off.
Somebody suggests Mount Rushmore, and JP says, I'm taking the bag off. I'm taking the bag off. I'm ready to roll. So if he had been negative today, you were in trouble, buddy. You were in trouble.
I mean, I can't be negative. I mean, yes, it has been horrible. And again, I have no idea if Josh Heupel is going to work out. But I agree with the Indy Kid. It's got to be better than what we had. His offense is going to be, we hope, exciting based on his previous stops and things that he's shown that he can do. So it's just a wait and see. Again, it is just a wait and see. None of us know whether or not that this is going to work out or not, but he's the head coach of the University of Tennessee. I've been a lifelong fan. I'm loyal. I ain't changing now. So, I may decide to go play golf or go fishing on Saturday if it gets bad instead of watching the game.
Golf, you probably should fish.
Yeah, well,
You think Dauber's bad at golf?
I'm bad at both.
You ain't seen nothing till you seen JP swing a golf club.
Hey, if I ever get a hold of one, though, it's going right through somebody's window.
Goodness gracious. Let's talk about this coaching search because, anybody that's disappointed, upset. Well, let me hit the super chat, then I'll go down that train of thought. Randall Zimmerman for $5. Thank you, Randall. Winky's gone. Heupel coaching QB. Get a DC, a good O-line, D-line coach. Go Big Orange. Yeah, defensive coordinator is going to be the biggest hire of Josh Heupel's career. Period. End all be all. B. Adams says you should see him fish. Let's talk about this coaching search, though, because anybody that's not happy, anybody that says Josh Heupel sucks, he's not the guy, he's terrible, none of you are super chatting. All the positive people. I love it. All the positive people are super chatting tonight. It's been a positive show. I was nervous. going into this. I'm like the indie kid, man. This has been fun. This has been a fun, refreshing show compared to the last 9 months of Talkin VAWLS. I generally like to be positive when it comes to Tennessee football, but I also call it like I see it. Let's talk about this.
It's something new. It's something new. But there's at least some form of hope. Admit it. It's got to be better than cornbread and Jeremy Pruitt.
Well, there's no doubt about that. But what I want to talk about is these people that say, "Oh, well, you had to go out and make a home run hire." Look, I think that when you get the coaching search firm, whatever their name is, I don't even remember. Parker, when you get them involved and they reach out to Matt Campbell and he says no, James Franklin says no, Billy Napier says no, Tony Elliott seems to have some serious conversations, says no, I'm going to stay at Clemson and I'm going to get some money. James Franklin, I want some locker room renovations. I'm going to go ahead and use Tennessee to get that. Look, they said no. Who do you want to hire? And don't tell me Lane Kiffin and Hugh Freeze, because I think those two names were out the window the second you start talking about integrity.
Would we rather had Sonny Dykes?
Maybe. The one name I will give you guys is Chadwell. I think they should have sat down and had a conversation with him at least. Would I want him more than Heupel? I think both are a gamble. I'm not going to sit here and hate on Chadwell, but I'm not sitting here saying that he's a better coach than Heupel either.
No, somebody said earlier, well, Chadwell's built a program. I'm going to debunk the thought that UCF keeps going down, and that's, I don't know who there. Most of this comes from an original thought. Clay, I keep seeing Clay Travis. Well,
that dude has been burning the program to the ground.
I'm going to tell you guys how to believe what Clay Travis says. If you put him on mute, that's what you can believe that comes out of his mouth. Okay, when his mouth opens, he's lying. So you can throw Clay Travis out on this one. So I'm going to go against. So Heupel went 12-1, 10-3, 6-4. All right, that's still not a bad record overall. And the 6-4, I would say, is not your prototypical normal year because they did have a lot of opt-outs. I'm not going to make excuses for the guy or whatever, but no, I'm not jealous of Clay Travis. I think he's an idiot. He's an imbecile. So,
jealous of Clay Travis?
Huh?
It's
somebody said I'm jealous.
Go ahead. I was going to go on a absolute rant about Clay Travis, but go ahead.
No, he's an imbecile. So, but anyhow, what you're looking at though, that 6-4, it doesn't concern me. Now, if you would have seen, let's say if Heupel would have went 4 or 5 years in his tenure and he would have stayed around 6-4, went down, yes, I would have been concerned about that. But it is a COVID year. Who knows? They did lose a lot. They are replacing his offensive coordinator did go to Ole Miss, who probably, even though it's a Heupel offense, you still got to have good guys around you right there. So I'm not that worried about 6-4. And it honestly bothers me that that's what we're using to say it's gone downhill. And saying that he won with Scott Frost players. Scott Frost was only there for 2 years. Hey, he wasn't there for 10 years or anything like that. So, again, maybe it ends up great. Maybe it ends up a flop. But, some of this narrative is just, people are trying to make a narrative that fits the negativity that goes around it. And
I want to go on an absolute rant on Clay Travis. Then I'm going to pick back up with what Indie Kid's talking about. Look, what do you think would get more views? What do you think would get more views for Talkin VAWLS? For me to put out a post and say the great debate, are you all in or are you all out? We're taking all opinions. Let's talk about it. Or if I had gone out and said, Josh Heupel is a terrible hire. Tennessee is a dumpster fire. This place sucks. Burn it to the ground. That's what gets clicks. Negativity gets clicks. And that's why Clay Travis is doing what he's doing. That's why he's going down that road and being so negative. And he's going to continue to do that because it puts money in his pocket. And yeah, the super chats here are nice. I love growing a fan base. I love making money. I love sending these three guys a check and saying, look, here's the super chats. Great month for Talkin VAWLS. I love it. I love money. I'm not saying I hate money. What I'm saying is we're realists. Like, I'm not in the business of coming with some false narrative. We are real. I've been called a negative Nancy. I've been called a sunshine pumper. I've been called every name in the book this week. The reality is I'm going to bring you my opinion. If you like it, fine. If you don't like it, fine. You can argue with me. I've seen Indie Kid argue with you guys all the time. It's great. It's fine. There's no problem with that. But what you get on Talkin VAWLS is realism, because there are many times that we come here and we do a show and I yell at JP because he disagrees with me, because I'm not telling these guys before we go live, hey, we got to spin a negative narrative today because we're going to get more views. No, it's real. We're four dudes that like Tennessee football and we come and talk about it. We argue with each other more than you guys know, more than you guys would ever know. The four of us disagree when it comes to Tennessee football.
The one common thing is we want to see Tennessee succeed.
100%. There's no doubt about it.
However that happens, we have different opinions about what we think would be the best, but that's what this is about. That's what we're doing this for.
And I think that's what the majority of these people sitting here watching this are for. Yeah, I mean, there's a few trolls, that live boring lives and they have nothing better to do but get on here and troll a Tennessee fan base that's been beaten down for 12 plus years. But, appreciate it. We thank it. We thank you, you trolls. We thank you.
Putting money in our pockets, right, JP? We're getting rich.
Yeah.
We're all quitting our jobs because of Talkin VAWLS. Look, I want to go back to what the Indie Kid talked about. You talk about Frost and what he did. Let's talk about what Heupel did at UCF. Let's talk about Dylan Gabriel, a guy that, I think he was a true freshman in 2019, threw for over 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 2020, 3,500 yards.
How many touchdowns did our quarterbacks throw this year?
Yeah.
To which team?
I think Dylan Gabriel probably threw. I'm not even looking at JG's stats, but I'm going to go out on a record and say his 32 touchdowns in 2020 were probably more than Jarrett Garantano's career. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just throwing stuff at the wall. Jimbo says for $5. Did I just listen to a Boogie rant? That's 100. So. That was 100% a Boogie rant. That's what you get when it just drives me. I can't stand when somebody labels this show as something. Like, this show is not. There's no narrative. It's four dudes that love Tennessee football, and we all four have our own opinions. And anybody that's been here since day one. And let me say this while I'm going on another rant. There was once upon a time in Talkin VAWLS network land, we had 40 people in the chat.
Let's see if we can get some air on him.
Yeah. We had 40 people in the chat.
You got to take that.
We didn't even go live. We didn't even go live. We just did the show, and there were people like Troy Lee and people like Tim Bradley. There were all kinds of people that supported our show, and I will be forever grateful for those people. The reality is right now we have almost 700 people watching, and it's hard to highlight everybody's comments. And I love you guys, and I will forever be grateful. And if we ever get an opportunity to meet in person, I will personally shake your hand and thank you, because you guys helped build this show. But when there's 700 people in the chat, it's hard to see who all is here. Yes, I'm going to continue to highlight super chats because these people are paying their hard-earned money to have their comments read on this show. Indie Kid's laughing at me, or he's laughing at the chat, one or the other.
I'll just give a shout out to the name of the night on here. And I know who this person is, but none other than John Rambone.
Good Lord. Good Lord have mercy. Let me spin it this way while we're ranting and raving and having some fun. We got 660 people watching, 372 thumbs up. I think you guys are better than that. I think you can get it to 400. So if you have not done so yet, please hit the thumbs up. Drives the channel. Subscribe. Look, here's the deal. The coaching search is over. A coach is in place. My hosts of the Wrestling Council, we're going live tomorrow. You guys will be confused about it. I'll explain it to you later. They're like, oh, it's over, Boogie. You can focus on wrestling. It ain't over. We gotta hire a staff. There is more to talk about. I've not even told the Indie Kid yet, but I hope he'll do a day after tomorrow. I hope he'll sleep on it, think about it, and come to you tomorrow with a calm opinion of this hire. I'll talk to him later about that. No pressure, Indie Kid. Gate City Blue Devil, Dauber's alternate account for $10. Thank you so much. Dauber's spending all the money he made tonight on this super chat. The flagship station of the Tennessee Titans and Vols 104.5, The Zone, has pulled Outkick the coverage off its airwaves, according to a tweet sent out by host Clay Travis. Good. Clay Travis is an idiot. And I hope he sees this, and I hope he attacks us. I think he attacked A to Z Nashville. And hey, let me go ahead and promote them. They have a YouTube channel. They have a website that I visit frequently. Check those guys out. But I think Clay Travis is going after them too. Maybe Clay Travis will talk about me.
I'm jealous of Clay, though. So
he's better looking than you.
Come on.
William Poole.
Better looking. Come on.
William Poole for $2. His UCF team would have beat over half of the SEC. Well, his Missouri offense put 50 on Tennessee and led to the firing of Butch Jones. Don't forget that. Daniel Hellman for $2.99 says, God bless y'all. Go Big Orange.
You too.
Thanks so much, Daniel.
Did you all see the tweet old Reeves Maven put out something about? He was like, who the blank is this guy or something? And then there were people like, yeah, he was the offensive coach that put up like 60 on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, I did see, I thought it was interesting today on, and this is something I want to allude to, Boogie, because you've seen it before. You've said it about people claim that, we hijack other sources. We give credit. We're just four guys who we keep up with it. We do pay for websites. We don't pass off information as our own. We don't, we quote it. Okay. We don't plagiarize. All right. So I saw it today on 24/7. They had interviewed a bunch of the recruits, and really the common thing with the recruits was they don't know the guy or they didn't know much about him, but there was a but. And, they look forward to building that relationship with him. So it is a case of, a lot of them don't know a lot about Josh Heupel. Of course, Hayden's son, the one that's being recruited now, he knew him, spoke highly of him. But there was some others said, hey, I know Central Florida, they're putting up points. I'm excited about that. But, it is a thing where a lot of these recruits are going to have to get to know them. But, that's with any staff. I think it was probably the same with Butch Jones. It's probably the same with Dooley or whomever right there.
What are the players? How do they react, though? You got Alontae Taylor tweeting out saying, let's roll. Let's go.
Caden Salter, Hendon Hooker, both in their comments. And I think somebody even tweeted Harrison Bailey was all three of them were all in on it. So that's
if I was a quarterback, I'd be excited.
And I even think where I don't know what's going on with Wanye Morris. I thought he was enrolled at Oklahoma. Some saying he is not enrolled. And it's apparently showing Toto and Eric Gray are not necessarily inactive in the system. So who knows?
They were still listed on the roster. And I think
Henry T is taking classes online. That was confirmed on VolQuest today.
Just because your name's in the portal does not mean you are not. As long as you're still enrolled in attending classes, you can still withdraw your name from the portal. That just means that other schools can now contact you.
Right. And I think the big thing was this past week, was the deadline. You had to be enrolled if you were going to take classes
Right.
at Tennessee. So what does it say that Henry T is confirmed taking classes at Tennessee? Power T for $2. Thanks so much for the super chat. What's the chances of Archie coming to Tennessee? Well, I would think any quarterback would be thinking about coming to Tennessee with Josh.
Sounds
Heupel.
like that. Didn't Heupel say that he was texting or talking to Peyton today?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe he's good friends with him or something with that. But who knows about Archie? I mean, who knows what?
It starts with Ty Simpson. If you're going to talk
He's
about
a sophomore,
quarterback,
right? Isn't Manning a sophomore or going into his junior year? I guess coming up, something like that. So we'll see. I mean, I think ultimately, if Kiffin still has Ole Miss going, I think that it'll be hard for him to not go to Ole Miss when it's all said and done.
Some of the guys in the comments mentioned, I just saw it on 247. Eric Gray committed to Oklahoma tonight. So evidently Oklahoma's doing pretty good with Tennessee transfer.
That's okay. I tell you what, I mean, I think that, of course, we don't know what Evans is going to do. I mean, Pruitt and that staff was really, really high on him. He seems to be a playmaker, but I think Jabari Small, I was really impressed with Small whenever he got his limited touches last year.
What about Beckwith?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is potential in the running back room.
Let's talk about the wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
I think Jalen Hyatt and Weidman and Belvis Jones, I mean, those kids ought to be absolutely ecstatic.
Did you see Jones's tweet?
Uh-uh.
He said, I guess I'm going to have to start running every day.
The linemen are who are going to have to start running every day.
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt's mom and dad were fired up. I've seen retweets.
Yeah.
And that they're fired up about it too. But yeah, if you're an offensive lineman who's been getting those bags at McDonald's, you're not. That's not.
We're talking cheeseburgers, not money.
Yeah. Oh, them offensive linemen and beer bellies and cheeseburger bellies are going to have to go.
What are you drinking, Indy kid?
Something.
Jimbo for $5 says you can learn a lot more about Vol football here than the SEC network. Well, I don't really know about that. And just going back to what the Indy kid said, I've seen people saying that we hijack people and claim we have inside sources. If I see anybody say that, I immediately discredit them because you're an idiot. Because
I've said source one.
I've said way too many times that's not what we're about. We've never claimed to be about that. I credit Hubs and Austin Price probably more than I say Dauber, JP, or the Indy kid because I've been a member of that site for good Lord have mercy.
I've given them a lot of money.
Let's just say this. I followed every single coaching search we've had since Fulmer got fired through VolQuest. Billy Boy for $4.99. Love you guys. Do you want people on the team that are telling other schools they don't really want to be at Tennessee? Well, no, obviously not.
No. But, I mean, more power to them, See you, thank you for what you done while you was at Tennessee. But
at the end of the day, we talked about it the other night.
We'll just move on, There's no player that's bigger than the program.
Or coach.
That's where I'm going. At the end of the day, we talked about it the other night. You're talking about a group that just went 3-7. Players and coaches. So are we really going to shed some tears over, guys that don't want to be here? Maybe these are the guys that Austin Pope was alluding to. Guys that don't really have the heart. Guys that really, don't play for the power T on the helmet. They're playing for the name on the back of their jersey. Is that the kind of attitude you want?
I mean,
that's what gets you 3-7.
I would think that these kids that are sticking through this, knowing that that there may be a bowl ban or two for maybe even a couple of years, but those kids like Jalen Hyatt and Malachi Weidman and Belvis Jones coming back for a 6th year, those kids right there ought to be the ones that are like that. This fan base really should get behind. Those are the ones that is going to hopefully set the foundation and hopefully help Heupel, grow this program and get Tennessee being back competitive. Again, if you've got kids that, that they don't want to put up with that and they want to go to something that's already been made and something that's already developed, then fine, let them go.
I want to touch on this because you're talking about everything going on with the postseason bowl ban and all that stuff. Did you guys see Heupel's contract that it goes through January 31st, 2027?
Mm-hmm.
But if the Vols get a postseason ban or a reduction in scholarships of 8 or more, it's extended another year through January 31st, 2028. Salary $4 million.
No.
I thought that was interesting.
Well, we're going to have to give the guy time.
There's no doubt. No doubt.
I mean, I think the difference with here's where I think the difference will come in with Josh Heupel versus Jeremy Pruitt. You can't, in year 3, just crap the bed. And
I'm not putting that on screen.
You do.
You got all kinds of friends, Indy.
He does, man.
It's hard to tell who this joker is right here, but yeah, there was somebody asked what the answer to number 7 and the math problem was. I've got the answer to that. So if you're doing an inequality,
Lord.
X,
he's gone off the show. Indy Kid's gone. He's been banned from the show. No longer the Indy Kid.
Hey, this is a good explanation. So if X is greater than 3, you want your head coach to be X, which is greater than 3 wins. That could be 4, 5, 6, 7, or above. But anyhow.
I was going to transition perfectly off of that and say, look, we got the 2021 football schedule right here. Let's talk about greater than 3. X
12-0.
Greater than 3.
Nothing
X
less than
equals
12-0.
Heupel greater than 3. I don't do math. Math is useless. The Indy Kid fusses at me for that. But let's look at the schedule for 2021. Indy Kid, what do you think? Greater than 3?
Yeah, shit, yeah.
If it's
All
not,
our ad revenue gone. Indy Kid getting us demonetized right out of the gate.
Shoot. I said shoot.
Okay.
It kind of sounded a little bit. Yeah, I'm looking at got to beat Bowling Green. Pitt, I don't know what Pitt's going to have coming back right there. I think it's in Knoxville. It's winnable. Tennessee Tech win at Florida. I mean, with Florida, it's one of those deals. Until you beat Florida in Florida, you got to favor them. At Missouri, yes, very winnable. South Carolina, we're not losing South Carolina. Lane Train, we're going to prove that the right hire was made in Knoxville, and the Lane Train is going to be derailed.
I don't have that confidence.
That's going to be a shootout. That's going to be an absolute shootout right there. Bama's going to be a tough one. November 6th is blocked out.
it's going to be a tough one. Yeah.
Who is November 6th? It's blocked out on mine.
UK.
Kentucky.
UK. I mean, that's going to be tough. Georgia, tough.
South Alabama.
Yeah, we'll win that. Vanderbilt, that's a win. So that's 1-2. I always expect to beat Kentucky. There's 3. South Carolina, we're beating South Carolina. Wow, I'm setting the bar at about 7, 8 wins right there. So
Ooh, son.
that's scary.
Because
I'm looking at Florida, Georgia, Alabama's losses, and the rest are winnable. Now, does that mean we're going to win them? Not necessarily, but they are winnable.
Gate City Blue Devil for $5. Thank you so much for the super chat. Best advice I heard all week from Dauber on the players transferring. Yo, it's Flint.
Dauber's got plants in the crowd.
I think Dauber's just spending his entire profit from Talkin VAWLS on fake accounts.
That's a buddy from work, and
well, there you go. They know you. It's fake.
He's got buddies.
All my buddies are hosting this show right now.
Apparently, I got buddies I don't realize it. Talking about good old days.
Power T for $2. Thank you, Power T, for another super chat. It says 9-3. Cade for $4.99. Is that Cade Mays?
Could be.
Yeah.
Take it from a Western Michigan student. Don't sleep on Bowling Green just because they're in the MAC. They have athletes.
Oh, yeah.
We saw them score like crazy against us back in, 2016 or 15 down in Nashville?
Yeah, I know quite a few Bowling Green grads down here where we're at. There's a lot of them that came down here to teach. So they're going to be. I'll have them excited to play Tennessee for sure. But Bowling Green's a strong school.
I think
it's not a gimme. There's no doubt.
No, I look at that schedule. I think realistically, I'm gonna say 5 to 6 wins.
Who's freaking
vi-
making that noise? I'm about to cuss somebody.
My
Sorry,
What's
vision
it
for this
sound
team,
like? I don't hear it.
my vision for this team is to double up 3, and anything else is icing on the cake.
I'm with Dauber on that. 6-6. I'm happy. If they've got a bowl ban, does it really matter if you go 6-6? I don't think so. That would make me happy. And then moving forward, look, here's the deal. So many people. Okay, what is going on? I appreciate the super chats. $5 from Jimbo. Such sage wisdom from Dauber. He deserves a raise. Is this the show you guys want?
Appreciate that, Jimbo.
Is that the show you guys want?
Hey, tell your mom hi. I don't say pissed off like Boogie does.
Oh, yeah, I know. Tell Miss Jimbo I'm sorry. I get excited. At least I didn't cuss like Indie Kid, though. Here's the deal. No, let's talk about it. 6-6. That's a good first season, I think. Looking at that schedule, looking at the talent level, coaching changes, system changes, all that stuff. Okay, this is so fake. Go Vols $4.99. I agree, Jimbo. What is happening?
That's
your buddy.
Go Vols 99 was the $100 super chat.
Yeah, he spent your entire profit on that Dauber. What's Dauber drinking? Let me get back to my point. You people loving Dauber, it's upsetting me. See,
I'm drinking water.
That's what it is. I'm drinking Coke Zero, and Dauber's drinking straight out of the bottle.
Yeah, water here too.
Dauber has lovers in the chat. No, Noir Explorer. They're all Dauber. He has 14 laptops pulled up with 14 different accounts. Let me get back to my point. Get back to my point. 6-6, year 1. That's a good start. New coaching staff, limited roster, all that stuff. We all know. I want to see year 2. I want to see year 3. I want to see progress. And that's, the people that were upset when we were calling for Jeremy Pruitt's head. Look, it's not. We get it. It was a 4 to 5 year rebuild. But if you're in year 3 going 3-7 and burning the program to the ground, you're out. You're out. 5 year rebuild doesn't mean that you get to do whatever you want in year 3. You have to show progress. And I expect the same thing from Josh Heupel.
Well, and it's not just 3-7. It's 3-7 and the way things were going, handed money out in McDonald's bags to recruits, and all you're getting is 3-7, and you're doing things that goes on probably at more schools than people want to admit. But I'm a realist. That type of stuff goes on. Do you all agree?
All over the country.
All over
every
the country.
program that's winning.
But you can't be sloppy about it. And they were just blatantly, handed money out in bags.
All right, I think we're about to wrap this show up. Old Jimbo's having fun. This has been a lot of fun.
Good. We appreciate everybody.
Show. I won't lie. I was nervous going into tonight. I didn't know how it was. Volunteer Nation's putting up graphs and trying to do homework in the chat. But we're going to wrap this thing up. 660 you all hanging out. We appreciate it. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. Please hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. It's a gag. I have fun with it, but it does help the channel. We would appreciate it. I don't know where we go from here. We are going to continue to drop videos. Obviously, JP and Dauber are going to continue to cover this basketball team. Indie Kid is also doing the Orange Blazer shows. But I think we'll either do some videos, maybe live streams talking about the coaching staff. You guys let us know. Leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think of the hire. Let us know what you want from us. Do you want more videos, more live streams? We are here for you. You guys make the show what it is. We will do anything and everything we can to continue building this thing. We'll be covering spring practice. We'll be covering the orange and white game. I'm even thinking about a road trip maybe next year. Maybe we go to a game, all 4 of us together, make a little vlog. I don't know. We'll figure it out. The bottom line is this show has blown up over the last month.
And it's all because of you guys.
We appreciate whether you do a super chat, whether you subscribe, whatever it is, just hit the thumbs up. It doesn't matter. We appreciate the support. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Again, for the Indie Kid, for Vols JP, for Dauber, my name is Boogie Bentley. We will see you guys soon. to say goodbye. I'll see you later. Go Big Orange.